So here's the question. The question is, Neil, how much money do I need to get started on Amazon? How much money do I need to get started on Amazon? Now, we both know the answer to that is it depends. I'm going to talk through that in a second. But just what do you think is the actual amount of money that you need to get started on Amazon? What do you reckon is the actual amount of money? All right, so while you type that in, I'm going to kind of give you some ideas around this, all right? So first thing I've got for you, this is the lovely, lovely Kateingham, who is the head coach here at the Aussie Online Entrepreneurs. And this particular video is all about Kate's journey from setting up her Amazon business, where she started with 250 good old Australian dollars, okay? And then reinvested that, yada, 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 turned it into, I think this year their goal is to make $100,000 in December this year. Last year they did 60,000. The year before that was 50,000. The year before that was 32,000. So she started with $250,000. However, let me start by saying, and thanks so much for playing along. I'm going to come on to all the answer in a second. Let me start by saying, more money is better. More money is better. So how much you need, the more you've got, the better it is. Why? Simple. More money means you can do more things, and it's as simple as that. More money means you can do more things, you can test more ideas, you can do more creative stuff, you can do more advertising, you can just do more. So the more you've got, the better it is. All right, and that's super important to know that. And that's not just true for this business, it's true for all businesses. More is better. More is better. Okay, so, but what does that really look like, and what is the amount of money? Well, it does depend. And let me give you, instead of answering the question, let me give you the costs of starting a business. And maybe that's a different way of thinking about this. So your biggest investment in your Amazon business will be stock for your store. That's your single biggest investment for your Amazon business, is stock for your store. So if you are going to start selling frying pans, and they are $5 each to buy from a factory in China, and you put 50 of those into your Amazon store, well, that's 50 by 5, $250. That's your startup cost for stock for your business, versus you decide to put ergonomic office chairs in, and they're $50 a pop, and you put 50 of those in, well, that's $2,500. So that is your biggest investment. So deciding what to sell will have the biggest impact on how much it costs to start your Amazon business, okay? The second biggest cost in an Amazon business is shipping costs. So the cost of getting your stock from China, for instance, to Australia or to the USA or to the UK, wherever it may be. That's your second biggest cost. How much does that cost? Well, it depends on how much you get your shit together, because you've got two basic options with freight. You've got sea freight and air freight. And air freight, of course, is much, much faster, but it's also a lot more expensive. Typically, it's between 10 and 12 times the cost per kilo, because that's how things are done, per kilo that sea freight is. So sea freight, typically around about 50 cents a kilo. Air freight, depending on the time of year, blah, 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 blah. $4 a kilo, something like that. But again, it depends on the time of year. Blah, 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 how much shit you send over, all sorts of different things, okay? But that's really your second biggest expense, without a doubt, all right? Third biggest expense is your Amazon product details page. That's your third biggest expense. Now, you can do all of that yourself, no problem at all. So you can, let's just pull up an Amazon product details page. So here's the Amazon product details page. So you can write all this text yourself, and I teach you how to do all of this, of course, in the AOE training. You can write all of that yourself. You can as well get these images done yourself. So these have not been done by an individual. These have been done professionally for sure. But you can do them yourself. No question about it. All right. So when I wholesale products, typically I will, to begin with anyway, use, if they've got good images, I will use, and 50% of the time they do have good images, good enough anyway, to test. I will use the supplier's images to test out the product if I'm wholesaling, okay? And then once I know it works, I'll create my own images, bada boom, bada bing, I'm investing. Same applies when I test out ideas for a product, something I've talked about heaps before, how I go about testing hundreds of ideas for products. Typically, I'll either use the supplier's images or I'll actually just take my own images, and that's really, really quite easy to do as well, to take your own images. What you'll need for that, write these down, is your smartphone, iPhone, Samsung, whatever it may be, a smartphone. You'll need a tripod. You'll need a white box. So a tripod is typically about $14 to buy on Amazon. White box, you can buy them on Amazon for about 30 bucks, something like that. You'll need natural light and the timer on your phone. So that's how you do that. And you can just set up the tripod, set the timer, put your product into the white box, take some pictures, use natural light. You'll get a pretty good, all by yourself, pretty good result. You're not going to get images like this because these are done differently. These have been done by a graphic designer as well. But you know, you'll get good enough images to get you started if you're just testing. And then what I do, again, is I will, once I know a product is going to work, then I will invest into it when I'm testing products. But I've also got as well other things, like we just launched some products into the UK where we invested a lot of money into the product details page. We invested a lot of money into the images, and that was all just done off the bat of the fact that we know we can make it work there, okay? So that's your third biggest expense. How much does that cost? Well, you know, if you do it yourself, it's all free, of course. If you get somebody else to do it, then you're probably looking at around 300 starting point, 300 Aussie dollars starting point. And it can go up, of course, from there, $2,500, $5,500, $10,500, depending on what the hell you get done, blah, 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 blah. So they're your big expenses. But of course, good expenses, because once you've got them done, you get leverage. You can then use these images, use this text to sell in 13 different marketplaces, all right? So what does it cost to get started? It freaking depends. I've got no idea. It's all going to depend on what the hell you decide to sell. Let's see what everybody else says. So, John Kitchen, 6,000. Luke, 5,000. I know, at least 1 week since I got access. Jessica, 5 to 10,000. Muzz, 3. Nick, 1 to 2. 5 plus 5, 8 to 10,000. Elaine, whatever budget you have and can spare. That's a good answer. Rudy, how much have you got? Bronny says 10. Damo says 5. Simon says 5. Nick says 5. Glenda says 5. There you go. So it 200 to 300, says Megan, if you get your shit together. And everything in between. Everything from, gosh, 250 up to 15,000 just within the Aussie online entrepreneurs that are on the call tonight. So what's that? 270 plus Aussie online entrepreneurs on the call tonight. So just within that, it depends. It depends. There you go. I know people hate those "it depends" answers, but that's because we're thoughtful, and it really does depend. When you think things through, it's pretty obvious that they depend. All right, so hope that helps, although I'm sure it didn't help at all with what you really wanted to know, which was how much will it cost me? And I don't know the answer to that question. I can only tell you how much it costs in general. Hey, Neil here. Just before you go away, that was a question that I got asked on my regular Monday night Q&A session, which I have with the members of the Aussie Online Entrepreneurs. So if you're interested in joining us as an Aussie Online Entrepreneurs, then you can click on the link below to find out a lot more about that. And also, as a special thank you for watching this video, I've got a great book that I want to give you for free. It's a current bestseller on Amazon, and it teaches you everything that you would need to know about starting a business here in Australia on Amazon. So you can see that just up there. So if you'd like to get a copy of that for free, then again, just click on the link below and you'll get a copy of that. You'll get taken to a page where you can get a copy of that for absolutely free. Hope you enjoyed that little snippet from one of my Aussie online entrepreneur Q&A sessions, and make sure that you subscribe to my channel and also like this video. And if you've got a question that you would like answering, then post it in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer it, whether on one of these videos for you or directly in the comments directly below. All right, thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time on the next of the Aussie Online Entrepreneurs Amazon FBA Australia videos. See you soon.